Hey, what's up, Agents for Life? Welcome to podcast number 314. As you can see, if you're on YouTube, if you're not, you better check it out. I have my lights up, my holiday decor for Christmas. So you'll see this for the next few weeks or so until I decide to take it down. But I thought it was kind of fun. Anyways, I am happy that you're here and I'm excited to go over a couple of things. We have a big week. I'm traveling to Indy, so I'm getting this done early. So this will be kind of a shorter just check in, but a few things that I really wanted to pass along. As always, I've always got something to pass along, right? Um, Lessons from the field, mic drop, thought, and some training. So here we go. Let's just jump right in. First of all, a lot of new agents are coming out in the field, and it's a very exciting time in our business. So if you're one of those, if you're one of the new agents that I'm working with, I'm just going to tell you, just jump in, right? I mean, that's the best way to get into a swimming pool. Some people, they'll like dip their toe in the water. It's a little chilly, right? So you stand in the shallow end a little bit and kind of work your way. No, just jump off the side and dive in. I'm telling you, this is a good time of year. Christmas time, the next few weeks leading up to Christmas, if you're in a position to write, I encourage you to just get on the phone and hustle and book as many appointments as you possibly can. In fact, book more appointments than you think you can handle. Scare yourself a little bit because there's going to be some no-shows. I promise you it works out. It gets a little crazy sometimes. If everybody's showing up, that's a good problem to have. But don't be timid. If you're new, just jump in. I'm telling you, it's worth it. You get used to the water pretty quick. But if you take your time and dip your toe and just do onesies and twosies here and there, you're just stringing it out. So, anyways, couple of lessons that I wanted to, well, one lesson in particular that I wanted to bring up because sometimes I'll get asked about different situations, and there's a one-off, what I would call a one-off situation for just about everything, right? I mean, there can be an exception to every rule in life insurance because so many factors are at play, including comorbidities and age and height and weight and all this and that. Well, some agents want to prep for all of it. And I just want to encourage you, don't worry about all the random one-off situations. You can't prepare for everything. And that's why I started with jump in, right? Just don't worry about it. Jump in. Lean on us will help you with underwriting, especially at first. So if there's weird questions that don't really, they're kind of off the beaten path, and you'll get that vibe when you're on the meetings and you're around us a lot. You'll be like, okay, there's a certain way that this is done, and it's very simple. And then there's 1,000 small exceptions that could happen. We don't have to worry about those because they're likely to never happen. And if they do happen, we just handle it. You just deal with it. I mean, if you're on the call with a client, you can always say, "Hey, you know what? Great question. Let me look that answer up. I'll get back to you." I mean, don't stress, okay? Nobody, especially your clients, expects you to have all the answers. What they look for the most, what they value most is number one, trust, okay? And then number two, do they like and respect you? Are you a professional? They know you're not an encyclopedia. You're a person, right? And so it's okay. Give yourself grace. Don't have to have all the answers. So don't worry about all the one-offs. Just jump in and get going. Okay, mic drop thought. I heard this from a book that I'm reading right now. Love the book. It's a Wayne Dyer book. I don't know if you're into Wayne Dyer, but it's been a long time since I've read one of his books. So I picked one up last week, got through it, loved it, was reminded about Wayne Dyer stuff. I love his teaching. But he was talking about, as there was a story somewhere in the book, I can't even remember, but a guy who was meeting with a mentor, and the mentor was giving him things to do. And the mentor asked him, "Are you interested or are you committed?" He said, "There's one question that's going to make or break, that's going to decide if you're going to achieve all these big goals that you've set, right? We come into this business and we have these big goals. I ask a lot of new agents how much money they want to make. A lot of times they say six-figure incomes. Brand new agent starting out want to hit six figures in year one. You know what? It's certainly possible. I did it in my first year, first full-time year. Yeah, far exceeded six figures. So is it possible? Absolutely. Is it common? Probably not. Probably more people than not don't, the ones that stick around. So, anyways, I got a little sidetracked, but what I'm saying is we set some big goals, and rightfully so, because we can. In life insurance, you can make a whole lot of money, right? If you haven't yet, just strap on your seatbelt, start hustling, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But are you interested or are you committed? Let me phrase that a little bit differently. Are you merely interested or are you full on committed? Right? And what's the difference? Well, interested means you may or may not stick with it. It means when the going gets tough, you might still continue, but you might not. Right? We're interested in a lot of things. Like we're interested in sales. We're interested in the news. We're interested in social media. We're interested in gossip, for crying out loud, that your neighbor says that has nothing to do with anything. We're interested. Okay. Are you interested in this business? Are you interested in your goals, or are you committed to your goals? Now, committed is a whole different level, right? Interested, maybe that's a good place to start. I think you have to be interested at least to start, but it's not going to be enough to get you there. You have to be committed. Committed means you can do whatever it takes. Committed people make sacrifices. They'll cut their budgets to free up some lead money. They'll spend extra time on the phone. They'll dial during a lunch break in their car because they have to, because they don't have time at home. Or they'll run appointments after work, after working 8 or 9 or 10 hours, tired, still hop in their car and run appointments. Committed people are figuring out how to get on all the team calls, showing up, wherever and however they can. Is it convenient? No, this business is not convenient for any of us. But are you interested or are you committed? If you're committed, you'll find a way to figure it out. You'll figure out a way to get it done. If you're interested, well, that's just entertainment value, it seems like, right? So I like the question because it really gets you thinking, what is your level of commitment? And I wanted you to think about that a little bit this week. Have you been kind of dipping your toe in the water, or are you doing the cannonball? All going out, right? Jumping all in. So let's stop with the just toe dipping. Let's make this not a hobby. Let's make this a business. Let's get serious about it. These are our lives, our futures, our financial future. We're chasing freedom, like full on independence, wealth. Okay. This is not something to dip your toe in. So we definitely want to be committed, not interested. Interested's not going to carry it. Training, I'm going to wrap up with this. Not a long training today, but again, going back to this book, I love what I'm learning, and I'm always reading books. And this is another book. I can't remember if it was the same book or another one, but oh yeah, it was. Okay, so it was Wayne Dyer's talking about the form, right? And that's our body and our personalities and things that we come into when we're born here on earth. Circumstances, he refers to it all as form. And it's kind of an interesting word, but he talks about how we are not our form. And the point he wants to try and make is separate yourself from your form. And this is a lot of different reasons. This isn't just an insurance thing. It's not even just a success thing. It's just a whole way of thinking about life. And I thought it was interesting because we do interact with so many people. We're in the people business. And sometimes clients, fellow agents, even coworkers at work or family members. If you just had Thanksgiving and you sat next to some cousin you haven't been around in years and they're a little off their rocker, you know what I'm talking about. People say and do crazy things, things that bother us, things that we can be offended by, things that we want to change. But what you're interacting with is their form, right? And what Wayne Dyer and other great intellectual thinkers like him present in their teaching is that we are eternal beings. If you're religious, coming from God down to earth, and we're placed in this form. So the point or the analogy that was made was really interesting. It's like if I gave you a package, right? A dinner, some kind of vegetables, let's call it, in a sealed bag. And we wanted to steam the vegetables for dinner. So you take the vegetables, you dump them out, you take the bag, and you throw it in the pot and boil it for dinner. What kind of looks do you think you're going to get? Right? That's the form. It's not what we or who we are. Who we are and our value is inside of us. And sometimes our form, our personality, the way that we think, our surroundings, our mindset, how we've been taught, and our physical bodies, any limitations, all those things, sometimes those, sometimes we see those and we don't see anything else. We don't see the true potential of the human spirit. We don't see that our neighbor that we passed by, or the person on the street that we don't know that maybe is bugging us the wrong way, or some an old friend or something that maybe we don't get along with. We don't look past those small nuances, the packaging, if you will, to see what's inside, right? And to see that, we're all children of God, that we have a divine being, a divine purpose, and that, life is all memories and stuff, right? And the stuff you don't get to keep, you don't get to take it with you. What do you get to take? Well, your growth, your learning, the new and improved you 2.0, your memories, right? All the stuff that matters. That's what you get to take with you. So when you're seeing somebody or interacting with somebody or even yourself, remember you're not your form. Okay, your form is a lot of limitations. It includes ego and so many other things that are unfortunately a part of our existence. But the whole great battle of life, the whole reason we're here is to overcome that and live into our true selves. Now, I don't know if I'm getting too deep for some of you, or a little too philosophical, but I loved it. I think it's such a fun, interesting, and even more mature way of looking at it. You can love someone that you've never met, never interacted, and never even said a word to, just passing them on the street by seeing them in this light, that they're a being with unlimited potential, and that there is nothing that they can't do or say that can disrupt you unless you allow it, because we live in our forms and around and of our forms, and that's all we experience, and sometimes that's all we know, and we short sight ourselves by not thinking bigger and not thinking broader. So I love that thought. I just wanted to share it with you. I know it's not an insurance type of a training, but it's our shell, right? Look past the shell in others. Look past the shell in yourself. See the beauty of what the human spirit is, that we're all part of a same energy, that we're all same energy, that we're all from God. And our shells hold us back in different ways. And maybe we can exercise a little bit more grace for each other as we're all going through this journey together. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care.